Well, hey guys, what is up? We are back with another episode of Pegasus Actual. It's great to see everybody. I'm really sorry because last week I know I kind of had stuff going on and I canceled on y'all, but we're making up for it this week. We're all three of us back in the saddle where we belong. You
Yep.
know, and I was just telling Zach and Arwen backstage. I said, I look forward to Thursdays because these are my family. These are two of my favorite people, and y'all that are watching are family as well. So it just makes me real happy when I see everybody. And this show is so much fun to do because there's no politics usually, and we just have a good time, and that's what's fun because we can actually still escape because we make ourselves something to escape to. Um, now, got some really cool little Battlestar related stuff to tell you guys. So you'll notice, like I always do, I tweet out the show. Well, I happened to tag Nikki Klein, who played Callie, by the way. You guys remember Callie? And she was so gracious to retweet our program. And she retweeted the info for Pegasus Actual a couple days ago, too. As a matter of fact, she tweeted out the info for it. So, big props to her. I actually talked to her, when you guys were watching me Tuesday and we were doing Rogue Squadron. After we wrapped up, see, Twitter has this little thing called Spaces now where you can make like a topic and do like a little voice chat, and it's half-assed. I'll tell you that if you guys try it, because you can only use it on your phone. It's really stupid, but anyway, you can make a chat with the topic and go in there, and I happened to see one where they were talking about politics and whatnot, and I was like, thought I saw that Nikki Klein was in there. I'm like, all right, because I know that Nikki is a very liberty-minded person, kind of similar to like Gina Carano, actually. Um, Maybe not as hardcore conservative, but she's definitely a liberty-minded person. And she was in a chat with another gentleman. Oh gosh, his name is Chase. I'm trying to think of his last name again, but I ended up in there, and I got to chit chat with Nikki and with him and the people that were in that space. So that was really cool. And I told her about our program. And so hopefully one of these times she could be on, which would be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
So we're building bridges with our Battlestar people. So I wanted y'all to know that. And I don't want to get people's hopes up, but I just want to let you know what was going on. And yeah, that is great. So big props to her, and thank you so much, Nikki, for retweeting our stuff. If you happen to be watching and you're not logged in chatting, whatever, but if you're watching, thank you so much for doing that for us. That was really awesome of
Hmm.
you.
Yes.
So all right, well, let's say hello to our chat. And hail to Dr. Alex Stein, PhD. Hail to Macklin Made It. Great to see you, Macklin. Hail to Parrot Head. Nice to see you. And of course, one of our biggest esteemed chatters, and that would be Comrade Root Korean the Based, Tony. How you doing, buddy? And hail Dwayne Erickson. Great to see you, Dwayne. So Tony says this episode borrows a Chekhov quote. Yeah, and I don't think many people knew about that, Tony. That's very interesting. So, Yeah, we have, of course, with me as always, Zach. And he's going by Battlestar Pegasus CIC tonight. But it's always, to me, it's Zach failed basic flight because he always fails.
I'll go back to that next week.
And Zach, I hope you're doing well. By the way, the community supports you, brother. I know that you're going to be going down a hard road here shortly, and we got your back.
Thank
We
you.
always got your back. And hail to Arwen, of course. She has turned into a celebrity of late,
No.
and she has been doing an amazing job, folks, all around the community. I mean, she's on so many streams now. I was joking with her the other day. I said, "Boy, pretty soon we're just gonna wind up telling you, you're the female culture casino. You're on so many streams."
No. God.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're getting there. But she's doing great with her show with Purple Valkyrie, and things have just been taken off really well for Arwen. And I know Zach and I both are so proud of her, and I know you guys are too. And
Thank you.
hail to Yvette DeVoyle. Yvette, it's so great to see you, honey. Awesome. Thank you for coming in and dropping in to say hello. You are such a sweet lady. It's so awesome that you come by like that and hang out for a while because we're talking some Battlestar. So, all right. But yeah, big props to Arwen for doing what she's doing. She's doing a great job. And
Thank you.
yeah, tonight's episode we are doing a an episode entitled "Guess What's Coming to Dinner," and it is season 4, episode 7. This is the one where the the base star jumps into the fleet for the first time, so that's going to be interesting. But we'll get there. I will go ahead and hand the reins over to Zach and let him start in with our discussion for the evening. So go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Drew. As everyone knows, I will read a synopsis of the episode and we will pause briefly every so often to take questions from the chat and discuss amongst ourselves. I apologize ahead of time if I get a little coffee. I have a scratch in my throat, but please like the stream if you have not, subscribe if you have not, share out the stream if you have not, and enjoy. Laura, Roslyn, and Lee listen to a taped broadcast from Gaius Baltar, claiming that Roslyn is sharing her hallucinogenic visions with Sharon and the Six currently in the brig on Galactica. Lee brought the recording at the behest of the Quorum, who demand an explanation, as the fleet has heard the broadcast as well. When Lee presses her for an answer, she asks him first how he thinks the fleet would react to such information. Undaunted, he asks again, and she confirms the rumor. On the rebel base ship, the crew of the Demetrius lead a rebel group of Cylons back to the fleet rendezvous as Athena makes last-minute jump preparations. Kara warns the rebel leaders that the Cylons of their ship are on a path of no return when they reach the fleet, and there aren't any guarantees toward their safety. She assumes Natalie will be the spokesperson in trying to avoid any hostilities, given that she's taken the lead so far. Hilo, on the Demetrius and looking after the unconscious Gata, receives the order to begin final jump prep. Natalie takes an awkward moment to ponder how beautiful Sharon's daughter must be, which shocks Athena to find out that Natalie and the other Cylons even know the child's name. When jumps begin, the Demetrius encounters a problem and must take a few minutes before it can jump again. But the base star lands right in the heart of the fleet, where some of the colonial ships have to scramble out of harm's way. Predictably, Admiral Adama and Colonel Tai bring Galactica up to action stations, scrambling what Vipers they can manage. Sharon tries to contact Galactica on the wireless, but the jump has damaged their systems, leaving them without communication and vulnerable to attack. Saul carefully watches the Dratus as 8 Vipers approach the base star. He then orders a weapons hold on a hunch, stunning Admiral Adama but stopping the attack. Seconds later, the Demetrius appears and authenticates codes with Galactica, informing them that the base star is disarmed and under colonial command. And there's the end of the intro.
A lot happening here. But I was watching, I'm like, okay. I do wonder something though. I get Baltar calling out Rosalind in 6, but why Athena? I thought she had pretty much been accepted by that point. Fleet wide. But he's classifying her in the enemy camp.
I think there's still this base separation between human and Cylon, even among the skin jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the revelation that she's having these visions again, that she's still on the drug, and then her treatments. It just casts a very suspicious air on their leadership.
I guess I could see that. If it was just Sharon, but it's not, it's both. I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe he was just using that for leverage, which he still may be. You know, it's Gaius Baltar. He rarely, let me put it this way, he rarely does anything without a purpose.
Yep. As we have discussed at length multiple
Mhm.
times.
Yeah. He's a great character for that, I have to admit.
Mm-hmm. A little shifty bastard.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Zach was saying. You know, there is kind of still that sort of separation among the two camps, you know, and also among the skin jobs too. So yeah, I mean, you know, Zach
True.
nailed that. So, all right, you can go on. Hold on, let me read a couple comments. So Andy Masterson, and welcome, Andy. Good to see you, buddy. Andy Masterson said, "I'm so old. I had a crush on Maren Jensen, dude. I'll tell you what. During the '78 show, man, Maren Jensen was goodness. She was a hottie. That was a very, very beautiful lady. Gosh.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't know who I liked more, her or Jane Seymour. Well, I have to give the edge to Jane Seymour. I mean, me personally, I was a little gaga over Jane Seymour. Not gonna lie. You know, I mean, every time I later on over the years when I saw Dr. Quinn Medicine Women, I was like, oh God, can she give me some medicine, please?
She never seems to age. She always looks good. Always.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what decade it is, she looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Andy says Cassiopeia was hot too. Yeah, she wasn't hard on the eyes. That's for sure.
None of them were.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really interesting. And Andy, you're gonna like it because after we finished up with the 2000s show and we do the plan after this, then we're gonna move over to 78, and that's gonna be fun. So so yeah, you'll enjoy that. Oh yeah, Erin Gray from Buck Rogers of 25th Century. I remember Erin Gray. Yeah, she's a very pretty lady too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of them back then, you know, as the old adage says, my friends, built like a brick shit house. It was true. That's no exaggeration. What?
I hope we don't have different interpretations for that.
No, yeah, come on. I know y'all heard that before. Come on, Arwen, you heard that phrase before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. That's why I'm chuckling.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know what you mean. I'm just like, we just went from talking about beautiful women to like, is she an Abby? Is she like super huge?
No,
what are we talking about?
No, she's
oh
not,
God, no.
She's not like looking like the Hulk Jr. I mean, my goodness. talk about having a roid rage issue.
Abby
Good Lord.
Smash.
Oh, goodness. Hail, Trina, Lasso of Truth. Good to see you. All right. Tony says, in reference to the show, Gaius was just on trial for his life, so he may have been swinging wildly, or maybe it was the one true God sending doubt into Athena's head for what happens soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I can understand that point of view as well. So,
I have a theory as to
Interesting.
the connection between these three women when we get to that point.
Okay, all right. Well, don't keep us in suspense, my friend. Continue on.
Okay. Several Raptors filled with Marines launch from Galactica and enter the base star, with Colonel Ty as part of the landing team. Kara Thrace informs him that the Cylons are with her, before he asks which one shot Felix. Gaeta is rushed to sickbay in grave condition, as Doc Cottle yells out orders to his staff to bring down a cut-down tray, suggesting an immediate amputation of Gaeta's wounded leg. In the wardroom, Natalie explains the events that led up to the Cylon Civil War. When Adama asks Natalie of the unmentioned 7th model, she explains that the number 3s were boxed, and explains the process and why the Deannas were boxed. They saw the then forbidden faces of the 5. She tells them that unboxing the 3s could give them the information that could lead them all to Earth, since the final 5 are believed to have come from there. Kara, in uniform and standing with Sharon, confirms Natalie's comment. Natalie also notes that the base star can heal itself of its damage, but that most of their raiders were destroyed in the ambush by the dissenting Cylon models. Roslin pointedly asks why the fleet should trust them. Natalie tells them that the boxing facility resides within the Resurrection Hub, a facility that controls all Resurrection ships in existence. Natalie gives Roslin a reason to trust her and the renegade Cylons: vengeance, telling her that destroying the elusive hub will destroy all Cylons' ability to download, making them effectively mortal. When asked why they would do such a thing, Natalie simply says that she and her comrades are rebels and cannot go back. Adama presses for the coordinates of the hub, but Natalie says she will only take them to the hub, not give the coordinates. As he orders the Marines to escort her away, the Cylon relents, promising to give the coordinates if Adama gives his word that Deanna will be unboxed, and the Cylons will be allowed to leave with the 5 once the 3s identify them, to which Adama begrudgingly agrees. Leaving the meeting, Adama asks Ty how he knew to order a weapons hold at the moment of their attack on the base star. Ty hesitates, but answers flatly that he doesn't know. Adama then orders a Raptor to the coordinates of the hub to investigate. Racetrack and Skulls arrive in an asteroid-filled area and find the massive hub, which appears to be twice the relative size of a guarding base star. Skulls comments on the facility's beauty before they take pictures with the gun camera and return quickly to the fleet. Back in sickbay, a gory scene begins as Doc Cottle preps to remove Gaeta's leg. Felix pleads to not be put under and only numbed, so as not to wake up with his leg gone. Despite his initial disapproval, Cottle grants the man's wish. Moments later, a saw's blade is heard tearing through Gaeta's leg as his eyes open wide in shock. Anders looks on from a distance, regret weighing heavily upon him. And that's the end of Act 1.
Ugh. That whole scene just, wow.
Yeah. This is actually surprisingly graphic for like for like this show, but this show hasn't really shied away from like what I guess you would consider, I'm used to seeing it from being a horror movie fan, but what you could consider light to medium gore, this series has never really shied away from that, has it?
No, you get a nice, fresh, clean shot of that gunshot wound right as they go over the the tool table. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
But no, I thought that the exchange between I was surprised when they were talking to Natalie and making the deal to get the coordinates of the resurrection hub. I was surprised, that Adama was like, even though it's technically his enemy, he gave his word, and he with every intention of standing by it. I respected that about him,
Mhm.
because I because it would be real easy to like lie to him.
Yeah, but as we'll soon see, treachery is the name of the game this episode.
Yeah.
Like
Indeed.
everyone trusts no one.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like having an agreement for convenience sake, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there is distrust on all sides.
Mhm.
Most definitely. But he is, I mean, at the end of the day though, he is doing what he thinks is best, and because I mean they up until this point they've been at war.
Mm-hmm.
This is unprecedented. What's that word? I can't even.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
Thank you. I can't speak tonight. Words just in me are.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, I know.
Me either.
But but yeah, this is. I mean, when she came in there, it's like they were having a meeting of the minds, and why really should either party trust each other?
No,
There's really been
I
no
get it.
basis for that, but they're trying to work together, and that's I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting the way it plays out.
I mean,
I'll
the
say
skin job's whole existence is predicated on subterfuge and treachery and lies.
that. Mhm.
They're all secret double agents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you guys cool with me getting to some comments? You get your
Yeah.
thoughts out there? All right.
Go ahead.
Andy says, I was glad they kept the new series kept the shape of the Viper. Cool design. Yeah. Mark IIs were really awesome, Andy. I really liked the Mark II design because it had like the classic feel of the old with some modernized touch, and they did that just right. And they kept it. And they kept the Mark One, which was what the '78 Vipers were considered
Mhm.
in a way as like an homage. So, the Mark Twos were like almost like a natural design progression, which made it even cooler that they kind of like weaved it in that way. And then the I like the newer Vipers that they had for current day, which were the Mark Sevens. Because if you look at the Mark 7 design, Andy, pay attention because it reminds you a lot almost of the F-16. And of course, me being an 80s kid, I'm a Gen Xer. I mean, who wasn't a fan of Iron Eagle? That's what made me love the F-16 airframe. And when they kind of used that as the inspiration for the Viper Mark 7s, I was like, yep, this is awesome, and so you get a bit of nostalgia on that one too. So that is so those were really cool. So yeah, I really like the designs of both kinds of Vipers in the show. They were really neat. Um, I even like the Raptor. The Raptor was cool. It was almost like their version, because it was a vertical takeoff and land craft. So it was like their version of a helicopter essentially. It's awesome. It was pretty awesome. So
The Raptor is my favorite
yeah.
military piece of equipment on the entire show.
Very
Hey,
cool. I agree.
Alora's in the house. OG Star Wars. If you guys are Star Wars fans, by the way, I urge you to check out Alora's channel. Alora does some really awesome stuff on there. She is definitely, as her name suggests, an OG Star Wars fan. She loves the original stuff. She loves real canon, and
Nice.
she will stand up for the EU until the end of time, and I respect that about her. So she does like really cool her coffee chats, as she calls them, here every so often, and look for those on her channel because those are really awesome. And she does different streams from time to time. She does art as well, and she has been one of the dearest friends that I've had for a very long time. So yeah, please do support OG Star Wars. Also, Lady Mist. Hey, Lady Mist, great to see you. Another one of our favorite people.
Yes.
And of course, Zax is in the house. Great to see you, Zax. Formerly Zax7, now just Zax. So great to see you, buddy. Tony says Cobra Kai used Iron Eagle in the premiere of season 1 very awesomely. Nice. I need to go back and watch. I didn't see all of the. I didn't see all of the Cobra Kai. I have to go back and watch some of that. Ontario Cryptid Investigations and Research. Hey, my friend, how are you? Great to see you. I believe I had conversation with Ontario. He and I were chit-chatting in emails back and forth about Bigfoot, because those of you that know me know that Sunday show that I'm on with Final Death Star. We talk about cryptids and the paranormal and all kind of interesting stuff, and I got in a good conversation with Ontario about Bigfoot stuff, because I'm a bit of a Bigfoot buff, I'm not gonna lie. So, so that's and hey, that's all right. And welcome to one
Tina.
of our awesome supporters, and that is Tina Bojan. Great to see you. And of course, Scott, just a normie. Great to see you, my friend. So yeah, we've got a nice bunch of folks in chat now, and we'll get on back to the discussion because I think we're caught up on our comments. So there we go. All right, go ahead and continue on if you would.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Can I say
no, go ahead.
one more thing about Felix's operation.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. I mean, my God, the grit that he must have had to not be put under. I mean, I'm awake for a tooth extraction and I can barely stand it.
Mm-hmm.
To imagine what's going through his mind, to hear the saw, and even though things are numbed, you still feel kind of a tug. You still, anyway, the point is though, when Sam is there, that makes it all the more tragic for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be one thing to see your friend get their leg amputated and have them asleep and have everything quiet and calm, but to see it happen when the guy is awake, knowing you're responsible for it. I mean, that just the look on his face when he turns, it just, my heart went out to both of them, because it's just one of those horrible, tragic things that happened. And these are the consequences that came out of everything that shook out on that ship.
Yeah, man, I don't know that I could do that either. I don't know if I could, get a limb amputated and be awake for it. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a claim, and that is that Alessandro Giuliani steals this entire episode, and all he does is lay in a bed.
Yes, I agree. Train. Sorry, y'all.
Better get off the tracks. The train's coming.
I hate this damn train so much.
Bassy Wassy, what's up, dude? Hail all. Nerd Cookies, Elaine.
Hello, Elaine.
Again, she has been putting out awesome lore videos. She did the Pegasus, and her tweet game's been up fire lately. She's been rolling out with them ladies and BSG tweets, and I was like, okay, I'm noticing.
I called her out on that too. I'm like, what are you doing to me? I got a show in 20
I
minutes.
saw that. I'm like, oh, poor Zach.
She also called to attention, and if you go to her Twitter, you'll see it, that there is a Dune lore channel that is basically under systematic attack by YouTube and Warner Brothers for no good reason whatsoever.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. You know, and that's
Wow.
one thing I will say, folks, as creators, if you guys do stuff that has to do with entertainment of any sort, whether you're doing show lore, lore for franchise, whatever, like let's say you even did something like Halo, okay, you got to watch out because these places will come after you a lot of times unjustified just because they can, and they will try to hit you with strikes. They'll try to hit you with this or that. And, you got to fight. You got to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to be fighting one myself here because I'm going to appeal. They took down one of my live streams. Now, to be fair, I was talking about a lot of sensitive government information, but it is public knowledge. So, I have the right to fight that, and I will. But yeah, if you get unfair strikes, if you're unfairly targeted by YouTube, please do fight it because we need to stand up for ourselves because big tech is trying to censor people all over the place. So please do. Let's see. Let me go through the chat, make sure that I see stuff. Let's see. Oh wow, Andy, Dwayne. Well, they were awake for the snip apparently. Oh man, you guys are far better men than I because I don't know that I could even get the snip. So good for you.
I mean, they would need a buzzsaw, so it's not worth it.
Hashtag beware the Drew. Yes. Ontario says BSG and Stargate Universe, two best sci-fi shows ever. Ontario, I tend to agree, brother. I really, really, really like BSG. It's my favorite. It always will be. I was a big Star Trek fan, but I like BSG, especially this one surpassed Trek for me a little bit, and Stargate as well. I definitely Stargate Atlantis was my favorite Stargate.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Tony says Alessandro Giuliani has a beautiful singing voice. Yes, he does, and he voices L in Death Note for the weebs, for the anime fans. There you go. We dropped a little bit of weeb facts for you today. So we're doing good. We're all things to all people tonight. Look at us. All right.
Death Note's worth a watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about that because I am not an anime guy. But if you suggest it, I'll go trust your judgment, sir.
I'll send you some stuff.
All right. Well, let's go on and Zach, please take it away.
Yes, sir. The civilian fleet returns to join Galactica. Adama, Ty, Rosalind, and Hilo discuss an attack strategy. With no raiders and too few resources for Galactica to fight alone, Hilo suggests to using the base ship as a Trojan horse of sorts, entering the hub's vicinity with half of Galactica's Viper wing to blow the FTL drive on the hub. Rosalind ponders the idea that if successful, the Cylons will truly become mortal enemies. Colonel Ty posits destroying the hub outright without resurrecting the Threes, reneging on Adama's word. Adama believes the Five could lead the fleet to Earth, but Rosalind thinks the Five will be uncooperative after the hub's destruction. Adama believes that the Five are like the rebel Cylons, but Rosalind disagrees. Ty is visibly agitated about the discussion and again suggests destruction, putting trusts in finding Earth Rosalind's way. Rosalind suggests a compromise plan. Unbox the Deannas, destroy the hub, but hold on to the Five until they all get to Earth. Then turn them over to the rebels. believing the rebels will be compelled to wait just a little bit longer. Deckhands and pilots prepare their fighters inside the base ship hangar, with Cylons and humans working together. One moment. Tom Zarek reads a provided statement on the operation to the quorum. Zarek asks Lee why the quorum wasn't consulted, but he has no answer, no longer being in the military chain of command. The Secret Four talk privately about the unboxing of the Threes. Tyrell considers that they at least discover the last member of the Five, but Ty darkly explains that such an action will only crowd the airlock a little more, not believing that the Colonials will see the Five in a good light. Anders, not listening, talks of how Gaeta sings all the time to cope with his pain and phantom limb. Tori meets with the president in an office refurbished for her to conduct presidential business while on Galactica, while also recovering from another Deluxin treatment and keeping close to sickbay. Rosalind first pleasantly comments about Foster's positive change in mood anytime she's aboard Galactica, and then asks her to find out who was sharing the rumors of the president's shared visions to Baltar. Then she sticks the dagger in, revealing the open knowledge of her affairs with Gaius Baltar. Foster confesses to believing in Baltar's spiritual message, but Rosalind feels betrayed and turns her back on her to do her other work, ordering her away. On the base star, Natalie believes that the Colonials won't give the Five as promised, suggesting a backup plan of her own, taking hostages after the attack to ensure that they get what they want. In sickbay, Gaeta continues to sing a sad love ballad as Lee visits Rosalind. He tells her that the quorum is considering a vote of no confidence against her. Rosalind refuses to cater to the representative's desire to feel involved, and Adama describes that the representatives' faces appeared empty, resigned to just consider the no confidence vote just to cope with the uncertainty. He suggests that Rosalind compromise and tell them what she can about the attack to allay the quorum's fears. That is the end of Act 2.
Oh man, a lot to unpack there. What are your thoughts, Arwen?
Well, for one, I think Lee was right. I think Rosalind needed to address them. Now, whether or not they were going to be receptive is besides the point. But yes, she needed to keep them in the loop. I get why she didn't, but at the same time, she is not a monolith. And in a lot of, as we've seen, a lot of the ways that she's handled things, it's almost been as, I'm the president and I'm over here with Adama and y'all are all over there. You got to keep people in the loop in some way. So I very much appreciated Lee in this episode, basically saying, look, I'm calling you out on your bullshit. Go talk to him.
Basically.
She kind of had to at that point. Otherwise, they were at an impasse. So what were they going to do? This is not a time for, a vote of no confidence. They need to stick together as a fleet. They need to stick together as a government, because everything that's shaking out and is going to shake out, they need that unity. So yeah, I really appreciated the way that Lee's character was handled here, that he's like, okay, pedal to the metal. Let's do this. Whether or not he agrees with her message, he needed her to talk to them.
It's especially jarring when you consider in the beginning, like in the very beginning, how adamant she was that the government exists in the first place. And now she's taking her position of power and ignoring the very government she sought to have put in.
Yes,
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think he's trying to let her know, like, look, I get it that, like, you're, you and the pops are getting cozy, but stop acting like his girl and start acting like the president.
Right.
Right. So it's good. It's good, because she probably did need that perspective.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to some of the moments she had, God, you remember back in season 1 when Kara got stranded on that planet, and they Lee and his dad wanted to continue the search, and she's like, "You're losing perspective, gentlemen."
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, and so it was Lee's turn to say, "Look, time out. You're
Yeah.
losing perspective, lady."
Yeah. And he's in her realm now. He's not
Mhm.
over in the military. He's in her queendom, if you will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he has every right to call her on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the only card he has left because he lost the
Mhm.
card in his hand when he turned in his wings, so he's no longer
Yes.
of two worlds. So he kind of lost some bargaining ability there.
Yeah.
There's a small detail that I want to point out that isn't necessarily plot related, but the first time in this episode that we're played out of a scene by a song, it's that same haunting version of All Along the Watchtower that we've seen in previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Every other time, it's Gata's song. It's Gata's song for the rest of the episode. It's either
That's
him
true.
singing or the melody of it, and if you didn't notice it the first time, you might miss it. But it's
That's
something I noticed.
very true. Good point. Yeah. And it is haunting. It's beautiful. My God, it's such a beautiful song, but
Yeah.
ooh, combined with everything that he's been through and everything that's going on with everyone else, it's very haunting.
And it takes on a different life if you don't see his face. If you just hear him singing, it's beautiful. If you see his face and his bodily motions when he's singing it,
Oh,
this is the most gut-wrenching episode of the season, in my opinion. This episode has lived with me long between my viewings of the series. Like, I remember his singing, I remember his face, I remember his pain. That's what I
it's
mean. He
it's like
stole this episode.
it becomes a requiem. It almost becomes like a funeral dirge at that point because it is so heartbreaking. It's so beautifully, beautifully heartbreaking.
And then what's interesting is the collected webisodes. There's one after this, after he recovers basically and gets his prosthetic and is walking around. There's a collected webisode out there. I forget what it's called, but it shows him up and walking around. And I think it's the first time. Again, not this is related to the plot at all, but you catch him basically not in the throes, but you get a glimpse of him being in a relationship with another junior officer, and you find out that Gata is gay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely organic. It's organic, and it's not, you're not beat over the head with it. And it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
It
that's
works.
how you do it.
Again,
That is how you do it.
It's perfect example. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Zach, because this was, and this was back then when there was quality writing still left in science fiction television. Okay, because remember, this was the last great thing that we had before a lot of these studios started, instead of hiring writers on the basis of like experience, merit, quality of work, they started hiring on the basis of what's your politics and what's your activism level, and that is just a sad truth of how it is, and so
Right.
this you won't see. And and God bless Raquel, because I remember when we would do episodes of the show when she was still doing Pegasus Actual, she would always say, "Hey, we're never going to see a writer's room like that again, of that quality level," and she's spot on with that. That's
Mhm.
true, and this was probably one of the last hurrahs in science fiction television, maybe television altogether, where it was like quality writing, where they knew how to blend every detail, and especially with something that's a hot button, possible hot button social topic, whatever,
Yeah.
or just there's something that dealt with quote diversity and inclusion, they didn't beat you over the head with it at all.
Mhm.
You know, they did it with a perfectly alternative way by putting it in the webisode. And
with one of the most diverse casts on TV.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And again, organic diversity. Organic diversity. And this is what I've always said, because I hate that bad faith argument that a lot of these people make. They're like, well, there wasn't diversity before this, and this. And it's like, no, there was. Go back and watch the G.I. Joe cartoon back in the 80s. You'll see diversity all over the place. Go back and watch original Star Trek. You'll see diversity all over the place. They just don't want to acknowledge it because it doesn't fit their narrative. Because they have big time recency bias.
Yeah. And I think in the reason, one of the reasons, I mean, the main reason, of course, is the way they handled in the writing, but they introduced him first. You got to know him. And then that is just a part of him that comes out. It's not like the sexuality is introduced first and then everything is wrapped around that.
No, actually, you're
You
exactly
got to
right.
know Gaeta. And then, when he's like, yeah, it's like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Like anything else. It doesn't overtake the points in the issue of the character. It doesn't, it doesn't become the character. It's just part of who he is. And I just really appreciate the way that they handled that because that's real life.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Yeah. And Bash USC, I totally get your point. Yeah, it was political, but you know what? They did it right. See, that was the thing. Even with like just the actual political side of it, they did it right too. Was there sometimes that stuff was heavy-handed? Sure, it was. There were a couple episodes like that, but it wasn't a main thrust of every episode where they had to beat you over the head like this is the politics. This is the politics. It didn't come off like that.
And I think it's important
right.
I think it's important to distinguish that we're talking about geopolitics in the wake of BSG versus identity politics now. It's still politics, but it's a different brand of it.
Yeah, and like I said, when we shifted as a society, and I'm not going to get on the topic of politics because this is not what this show's about, folks. Because I do politics on Tuesdays, not on Thursdays. But to address a small point to that, I will say, when societally we made the switch to identity politics, which by the way, a lot of people didn't care for and still don't care for. It then became all about that, and it also became a source of making a whole lot of people a whole lot of money. But that's another subject for another day. But that essentially is what it was. But hey, here we are, and again, we can do a program like this and talk about BSG, and then we can understand why it was so good, and that's what is so great about it, And all right, Zach, no problem, buddy. Just go ahead and DM it to me, whatever you want to do, and Bashy Washy agrees. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Galen says I can't talk politics unless it's agreed. Yeah, and trust me, Galen, I get into that a lot more on Tuesdays because trust me, I kind of look at it along those lines. And anybody that knows me, sure, that I kind of tend to skew a bit conservative leaning on some issues, on quite a few issues, but at the same time, I'm a big picture thinker. And I've always looked at the fact, especially in the system we have now and the research that I've done as a journalist, it's very, very plain to see when you start to investigate and go down the rabbit hole that a lot of this is sadly a mirage And the reality of it is there's a lot more of the uniparty thing than people even know. And I hope that more people do wake up to that sense. But again, this isn't about politics on Thursday. We have fun with BSG. So let's get back to that, and we'll hand it on over to Zach because we'll bring it around on home.
Okay, yeah, Act 3 is pretty short, so I'll read to the end of the episode, or just stop me
Yeah,
whenever.
go for it, sir.
Lying in bed, but doing nothing, Baltar pries into Tori's mind. She admits to being tired of lying to Roslyn, of how the rumors have affected the president and Foster's relationship with her, and about the rumors of Laura's collusion with the Cylons. Gaius reveals the source of the rumors, Caprica 6, who, through his attorney, told him of the news during his trial. Baltar believes that Roslyn is keeping everyone in the dark, believing that she's concealing of information, that her concealing of information is worse than revealing it would be. Roslyn meets with the Quorum and Admiral Adama, bringing in Natalie to help emphasize how she trusts the mission's success. Natalie tells them of the rebellion and how things had begun to change. Without a resurrection ship, time has now become a commodity, a realization that mortality is crucial to making humans whole. As the Cylon continues to speak, Kara has flashbacks of what the hybrid told her of her destiny, and the belief that she is the harbinger of death. Elsewhere, as Geta continues singing his lament, Baltar observes quietly in the background. Later, Roslyn, lying in bed, experiences another vision of the Opera House. Searching for Hera, Caprica 6 and Sharon also share the same vision. When Athena wakes up, little Hera is there at her bedside and says a darkly prophetic goodbye, suggesting that the child knows she will be taken in some way. A wide shot of the fleet shows the base star has nearly healed itself of all of its damage. On Galactica, Kara Thrace sees Roslyn in sickbay, who compliments Starbuck on her plan to unite the rebels and the fleet. When Kara asks if Roslyn is having visions, the president is strangely quiet. Kara repeats what the rebels' hybrid told her about the dying leader and the Opera House. Shocked at her knowledge of the dream's specific content, Roslyn asks how the hybrid would know about her dreams, but Kara doesn't have an answer. Roslyn pleads with her to help determine the meaning of the dreams, and Thrace accepts without hesitation, and Roslyn asks her to find Hilo. Aboard the base star, the Cylons become unsure about the attack. Natalie tells of the feelings she had from the Quorum, their distrust. She believes that the United Five may judge the rebels for their duplicity with the Colonials, fearing that they would ultimately refuse to come with them. When Natalie suggests to completely abandon the project, to tell the Cylon Centurions to stand down, an 8 in attendance warns that such a move would cause the Colonials to never trust them again. Leoben warns her that the action may be a point of no return, telling her to meet with Adama and stall for time while he deals with the Centurions. Roslyn meets privately with Baltar, confirming the visions. When he asks why he was just told now, she replies that he himself is part of the vision. Elsewhere in Sharon Agathon's quarters, we see Hera drawing in a book. Sharon picks up the drawings to see that the child has drawn numerous numeral 6s and blonde women on multiple pages. One drawing depicts a base star. The final page is of Hera smiling and standing by one of the women. Visibly distressed, Athena turns to find Hera gone from her quarters and rushes out to chase her. Back on the base star, Roslyn, Hilo, Baltar, a Leoben, and an 8 head under guard into the ship and to the hybrid, as Cylon Centurions walk by an uneasy group of pilots. Natalie arrives on a Raptor on Galactica, visibly uncomfortable. Sharon chases Hera throughout the Battlestar, but the child is elusive. When she stops to tell Galen Tyrrell, working within a corridor, he gives her a cold, unsympathetic stare, but eventually follows her. Hera finds herself at a stop in front of Natalie, being escorted by Ty and a squad of Marines. But Athena rounds the bend and immediately draws her sidearm, warning the rebel Cylon away. Ty orders the Marines to stand down. Back on the base star, at the deactivated hybrid's tank, Roslin orders the hybrid reactivated. Jumping back to Galactica, Sharon asks Tyrrell to take Hera away, which he does only after Ty reinforces the command. However, the visions of the Opera House and Six's taking of Hera are too strong in her mind, and she shoots Natalie square in the chest. At that moment, the hybrid awakes. She cries out, "Jump!" And the base ship disappears from the fleet with the president and her entire entourage aboard. Finally, back in sickbay, Gata hauntingly concludes his song.
Whew. Where to begin? Jeez. There's so much to unpack.
Wow. Crazy shite, man.
You two start. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a hell of a sequence, but
Yeah, it is.
but yeah, when they like what stuck out to me is when they get when they go aboard the base star to start to try to talk to the hybrid and get some stuff out of it, man. That was crazy. I'm just like, whoa,
Mhm.
and yeah, I did not expect Sharon to just wig out and just absolutely murk Natalie.
Every time I see that, I'm like, she went there. Oh my God. What?
Mm-hmm.
And she did. She's like, no. And the whole scene with Hera standing over her and saying goodbye, it's just so creepy. It's just like,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, before we go on, let me get to some of the comments from the chat. I want to make sure that I'm catching up with everybody. So hail to that 70s rock fan. Good to see you, my friend. Also want to say hello to the Catman, Dee Myers. What's up, buddy? Great to see you. Zax, yeah, let me give you a follow shortly, buddy. Also, let's see. Who else was commenting? I know PJ stopped in, and Low Spec Linux Laptop. Hey, buddy, good to see you as well. So, the gang is all here. So,
nice.
I love it. But yeah, a lot of people are commenting on my avatar. Yeah, I really like that picture, Kara. I'm never gonna apologize for being a Kara fan. I always have been.
Mhm.
I've been both the LK shipper and Rosalind Adama shipper. Not gonna lie, that's just the way that the show was for me. And who says guys can't be? That's back when the shipping community obviously was something completely different than what it is now, because a lot of the people that watch TV and are shippers now are absolutely batshit crazy. This was back when people had common sense. So yeah, but yeah, that was me, as far as a fan. Let's see. I thought the same with this episode when I first saw it. They never mentioned, Bashy Weiss said they never mentioned if Hera was connected somehow to the stream like the hybrid and Leovid. Interesting. Yeah, Macklin. People actually did at one time.
So Bashi Washi's comment actually leads into that theory I alluded to before.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that I believe it was Hera's blood that was used to initially cure Rosalind of her cancer, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
From that point, I believe that Sharon, Hera, Laura are inexorably linked because the opera house that the Cylons see, I believe, is, for lack of a better word, genetically passed through the blood to Hera, who was now intrinsically connected to it by her Cylon half, and through the transfusion, thusly is Laura Roslin. So and that's why they can all share this dream now.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's it. That's a I never put that together, man. That's a hell of a theory.
That's good.
That's and it has a lot of plausibility to it. So yeah, that's a good one, Zach. There you go. Interesting. Very interesting.
I kind of I love that. I've
do.
never thought of that, and I
Yeah, that's
love that.
interesting.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
going with. But spiritually speaking, I always kind of saw, and it doesn't explain that physical link. I mean, Zach, you nailed it. You did. I love that. But I kind of always saw it as Six and Rosalind kind of being the past, that that war between the Cylons and the humans, and then you've got Athena, who's kind of the present. She's the one who has stepped out and said, "Hell no, I'm going to choose my own destiny. I don't care if I'm Cylon. I don't care if I'm human. It doesn't matter. I make my own choices." And then, of course, you have Hera, which is obviously the future of both of them combined, the future of humanity, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of always the way that I saw those linked together. But I like the blood one. I'll go with that. I think that's great.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does. It does.
So I can't say no to that one.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Hooray!
Go Zach!
I love floating theories by you guys because it gives.
I got
sense.
nothing, dude. It's just like
plausible.
dude, you just that's the theory bomb for the day. I got nothing now.
Yeah, because look, let's face it, it's easy to see it in the spiritual. Okay, it is what it is, but to actually make that physical connection on why Laura is involved and why Six is involved and why Athena's involved and Hera's involved, it's that one link, it's that small thread that kind of weaves that tapestry together, and it's just like, yeah, I get it.
All right.
That's why they're having the same dreams. That's why they are all connected.
6 was the main change in the Cylon. That's what Bashy says.
I mean, to the other Cylons, yeah, I could see that, but Athena to me is like the I don't know. I guess because she is so accepted by the humans, she's that bridge.
Yeah, Parrothead's getting crap from Zach. Said, "Where's the Boxy series at, man?" And Catman H.T. Myers. It's funny. I think he typoed, but he said, "You have some awesome therapies." Yeah, I bet you Zach does have some awesome therapies. There's a lot of times I wonder if he needs therapy, but but then again, there's a lot of times I need therapy.
And that's why we come here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is my therapy.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, I don't know. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of the episode? I actually really like this one. This is one of my more favorite ones. So for me, this is like probably 8.5.
Go ahead, Arwen.
Oh, you're going to make me go next, Zach.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a solid 9.
Okay.
I am. I think it's It's tying things together. It's explaining things. It's got shock value. And not like it's not just Felix's leg, but when Sharon shoots 6 or Natalie, it's just like, damn, okay.
Yeah, people shooting people all over the place.
Yeah, and it starts. It's weird. It's like it starts drawing threads together, but at the same time, it starts giving little cliffhangers, and it hooks you. It makes you wonder what the hell is going to happen next. I've got to find out. It has that draw and that pull for me. So I'm going to give it a 9. I'm being conservative, but I'm going to give it a 9. Okay, Zach.
For all the reasons you just listed, and for all the little things I pulled out, this is a 10 out of 10 episode. And if it's not, I don't know what is.
Oh, fair enough.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I want it longer. There.
Yeah.
1 point for not being more.
I mean, all of the distrust, all of the plans within plans, all of the predestiny and the political motivations, Gata, everything. Like, this was a super, super solid episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. I want to change my score then. I'm going to go up to a 9. I'm going to go up to a 9 because I listen. I wavered as it was between 8.5 and 9. I'm just going up to a 9.
Oh, damn it. Why not? 10.
Yeah.
Zach, you're such an influencer.
I'm just being real though. It's to me this is like definitely like 9 worthy because I was right there on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to be super objective, so I go like low end all the time. But yeah, my high end for this was a 9, so I'll go to 9.
Okay.
Here we go. 9.5.
Something like
Right
that,
in
yeah.
between. No, it's great.
Man.
It's one of my favorites. It is.
Yeah, if any of you guys want to comment your score, Zach says a 9. Okay, so we got a 9 from Zach's. Bashiwashi says, "Is there any eps in BSG that are below 9 or 10?" There are a few. There are a few, buddy. But the thing about BSG, okay, that you can't put a score on, and this is what I like about this program through its entirety: consistency. Now you're going to hear a lot of shit, and when we eventually get to the end of season 4, because this is, by my estimation, still when you compare all 4 seasons against each other, this is still to me the weakest season. If we're being objective.
Okay.
When I talk objectively about this show, okay, this is the weakest season. And then when you go to when we get to the finale eventually, and we get to have that discussion, I mean, you guys will see, because universally around the fandom, a lot of people were disappointed with the finale. And when we get there, we'll find out why. But, it's, for the large part of this series, though, it did have good consistency, and that's what I respected about it. But that goes back to the quality of the writer's room, the whole 9 yards, the quality of the talent in front of the camera. So, you got a lot going for it.
I agree.
Bashiwashi. It was rather rushed, and that's even been admitted before. So, 10 out of 10 because roller coaster, says Tony. Okay, fair enough.
I think that's part of the beauty of reviewing seasons 3 and 4.
Macman says it's an 8.
Trying to find those episodes that are super solid within a season that is, agreeably lesser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Orville Nation, I would love if that happened. That would be the best Christmas present that I could get.
Yeah.
So share out the channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody for hanging out and enjoying this with us tonight. This was fun. It always is on Thursdays. I enjoy chatting with you guys. And all you folks that stop by. You really make this program such a pleasure to do, and it's such a pleasure to do for us because we're fans. We love talking about this show, and and your passion for it shows as well. And it's so much fun to get together every Thursday with you guys and talk about it. So yeah, and so it's really really awesome of you to always come and support us every Thursday. So I will go around and I will let these wonderful co-hosts of mine let you know where they can be found and what they got going on. And we will start with our pal, the XO, or well, he's a CIC man tonight. We'll go with Brightest Day.
Where do you think the XO operates? It's on the CIC.
Yeah. On my ship, you operate in the back latrine.
They don't have latrines. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I know.
Zach, I'll put you front and center on my show. Okay.
I'm messing with you. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brightest Day. Before we get too far, let me post my own link because I was getting ready to post Arwen's link. I do a lot of different things. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, I read sci-fi novels to you. Tuesday, I build models. I'm on the Mobile Suit Gundam Roundtable on Ironcaster's channel. Thursday nights is my dedicated gaming stream, and also here on Pegasus Actual Podcast. I do various shorts and videos throughout the week, and if you guys want me on a show, just hit me up. I will try to make myself available. Also, I'm starting to simulcast to Twitch, so if you're a Twitch user, I'm on Twitch at the same name. Thank you guys for having me.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Well, let's go on over to our friend Arwen Avalon.
Hey y'all. Okay, tomorrow night I'm gonna at 7. I thought it was 8. I was corrected. At 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'm gonna be on Maria with T and Telly's channel. And
Oh, hey Arwen, wait. I forgot something.
okay.
Because we made a big faux pas tonight. Because I didn't say you are our sassy Southern belle.
Okay.
Now you can proceed.
She's true. All right. So tomorrow night, y'all. Oh my God, Maria is doing a Tipsy with T and Telly wine stream. It's gonna be Maria, Tracy, and myself. I'm gonna be drinking some sangria. So yeah, there's no set subject. It's gonna be any kind of talk we want to talk about. I think yesterday the Pink and Purple show was a little bit probably of a preview. I don't know.
I'm not going to show up to that because somehow it's going to devolve into Beware the Drew something or other.
You never know.
And with 3 drunk women, I don't know if I want to take that risk.
Hey, PJ said in the chat he was going to try and show up. So, y'all got to all come out and support us. Okay, so that's tomorrow night. Oh, God.
Bassy Wassy, we'll address your question as soon as Arwen finishes her outro.
And Saturday, I'm going to be on the VacTube at 3 p.m. Eastern time with Daryl the Derelict and Darth Arlena, and he's calling it Daryl's Happy Hour. So I'm going to be on there. Purple's going to be on there. I think Pat Stevens said he might try and be on there. I don't know who. I don't know who the hell's going to show up. But there might be some drinking involved in that too. Who knows? So it's going to be a very interesting weekend. And then at 5:00 tomorrow Eastern time, I'm going to be on T-Shirt Historians, The Week in Geek. I was just added to their panel last week. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's a great show. And then maybe Rambling Canucks Karaoke at 10. It depends on how I handle.
If you're sober enough to make it.
I'm sober. I'm going to try and be. I've got some spiced rum set aside for Daryl's show. But anyway, and then Sunday I'm going to be on the Fan Fantasy Story Ideas at 4:30 EST, and then later that night on Mark D with the C Sunday Night Geekery at 11:00 EST.
Yeah, like I said, she's turning into culture.
He's got better hair.
I told her the same thing.
He's got better hair.
He's pulling a culture casino on us. I just put a link in the chat, by the way, folks, to our friend Shellback TJC. He is a former veteran. He is disabled. He's going through very hard times. I do support all my friends that are veterans, and I've known Shellback for a long time. He's one of my best friends in this community. So make sure you if you can find it in your heart to try and help him out, just follow that link I dropped in the chat there, and you can help him. Yeah, so I know that we had a question that Bashy Washy wanted to throw out at us really quick. And he said, quick question to the panel in chat. Do you wish that Admiral Kane lived, or was her death a good thing? Yeah, that's certainly a quick question. Wow, we're gonna wind up a few minutes on this one. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Armin.
I thought it was a good thing. I do. I thought she was still kind of. I think she was still kind of operating in her old mentality when Adama was trying to operate in the new mentality. I mean, they were the military and they had to keep their stuff together, but it was a new world. It was a new age. And even though I really admired her character, I thought she would go. She goes too far in the other extreme, where Adama was trying to keep things kind of together. Not that he's perfect; he's got his flaws, and he had to submit to her command. But she just, she was brutal.
Well,
She
you
was
could
brutal.
you could see too, and for those of you that watched Razor as well as the Pegasus arc, throughout the show,
Mhm.
and you guys know, okay, those of you in the chat, if you haven't seen Razor, by the way, please do watch it. It's a really good movie. But I will say this for Kane, just like Arwen said, I respected her character. I
Mhm.
understood why she did what she did. Now, in Razor, the events of what happened at Scorpion shipyards, the people that she lost,
Mhm.
the finding out that she was dating an enemy. Her significant other turns out to be, a Cylon infiltrator. Um, the Gina that they wind up holding in the Pegasus brig. But she had a psychotic break. And I don't think that she was ever going to be able to get back to, rational thinking to where she was going to be whole, where she would be able to kind of, you know, kind of pull back and
Mhm.
look at, okay, we got the civilian fleet, we are the military, we need to keep these people together, protected, and everything else. She only was involved in insular thinking at
Yes.
that point, and then that was the problem. And I don't think that the show was going to allow for her to continue on that path without eventually her getting whacked in
Yeah.
some form or fashion. I think it kind of would be fascinating to do a what if and see what would have happened if she lived, if she would have had a change of heart, but she wasn't going to have that change of heart. And we kind of understood that. Like,
Mhm.
especially if you go and watch Razor and then watch the Pegasus arc, then you understand.
Yeah. She had no ability to adapt like Adama. Adama had ability to adapt. She didn't.
Go ahead, give your thoughts, Zach.
I was just going to say she's the right commander for a different mission. She would have led the fleet to ruin if she had been left in command.
Okay.
I love the
But
way you just condense things down into the meat of the matter. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think if she were around for several missions like the upcoming one, like she probably could have found a better tactic for assault. But as far as getting the fleet home, yeah, she would have led everybody to their doom.
Yeah. I agree.
Fair enough. Yeah, so there, Matthew, actually, I hope that answered your questions. We got some comments in the chat regarding Arwen's stream appearances. That stream should be interesting. Tony says, I was going to keep it real, like, chill, like, only have a drink or two. Shellback says, "Free drunk women, do it."
Oh my god.
Zach says, "Maybe I should start streaming with boobs."
Oh,
That's a running joke if you've been around my streams long enough.
The Catman, aka DD Myers, says it will probably be a free for all. Looking forward to it tomorrow.
and I will be posting pictures. On my
Andy
Twitter.
Masterson said, "That reminds me, I'm out of whiskey." Hey, Catman, DD Myers says, "We are in a world of hurt if Arwen drinks the rum. It'll be time to run."
Spiced rum.
Oh, shit.
And I've never really, I mean, I've had like one cocktail with spiced rum before. Apparently, we're supposed to do it for the whole stream, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, Jesus. God, you girls.
I'll be like, Daryl, I gotta go at 5. I got another stream at 5. We need to cut this
You
off.
girls, you know what though? I'm not going to be surprised because I talked to Maria. She and I talk quite a bit on Twitter, and
She's a sweetheart.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, she is a sweetheart, but
Yes, she is.
I know that she got a wild side, and getting you two together, and and your other guests you're going to have on. My goodness, the three of y'all carrying on is just going to be priceless. Because I like I said, I know Maria. I've been on with Maria before, and she's
I'm a good girl.
she's an
Maria's gonna
absolute-
corrupt me.
she's an absolute ball to be around.
You're a goddamn liar, Armin.
I know.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Goddamn liar.
yeah, you ain't no rookie. Just stop.
Yo,
Just stop,
oh my god.
no, yes, I'm a petunia. I've never done anything. A lily of the field, I tell you.
Jesus. I am getting the vapors. Oh god.
My goodness.
Y'all got my number. That's why I love y'all, because there's no bullshit on this channel.
No. We ain't gonna let you bullshit nobody.
We keep it real, y'all.
That's right.
Although you should have heard Dad Man the first time I cussed in Fortnite. I swear to God, he was like, clutching pearls. I'm like, what? It's Fortnite. What, you never heard a woman cuss before? Well, I just didn't expect it from you. Like, okay.
Massey Washy said, "I'm in between. Admiral Kane's arc ended in a good place, but I still wonder if she stayed and we could see if she would have changed like Adama or just ended up being a true killer." Well, by that point, Massey Washy, like I said, she had all that strife and she had a psychotic break from it, and that's very hard to come back from. So probably very likely she would have been stuck in the same cycle, even if she would have tried to come out of it. So anyways, I just want to thank everyone again for coming out this evening and for catching our wonderful show, and thank you for gracing us with your presence. You guys are great, and you guys are the reason that we do this, because without the audience that we have, there is no us, and y'all are so much a part of us. You really are. And of course, thank you as always to Zach and to Arwen, because like I said at the top of the show, we all of us, you guys in the chat, all of us, we are family. So remember to take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and just make sure tomorrow that you ain't going to the store grabbing a 15-pack of White Claw and doing some coke. All right, please.
Spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
But yeah, that's my opinion.
That's my opinion.
But yeah, thank you so much, folks, for coming out tonight. Love you guys, and we will see you next Thursday for sure. And I will see you guys Tuesday for Rogue Resistance. I'm looking forward to that. For those of you that do like the political, I am going to be interviewing a congressional candidate for the 2022 midterms. His name is J.R. Majeski. Of course, Zach Brightest Day will be there. He will be producing for us. And we will have, of course, Tommy and Culture will be there as well. And so we'll probably each have, and so will Wes Moody. So that's going to be a very, very good show. It's going to be a very good group interview, and I'm looking forward to asking questions, real questions, because I promise you that when we ask any sort of candidate for office questions, you can count on the fact that me as a journalist and the way that my friends roll, we will always ask questions that the people want to know about. We don't function like the mainstream media. We will always keep it real. So until then, I will see y'all. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful night. Yeah, we are out.